Quite regularly, families come in and have concerns about either they're planning a divorce or they've already divorced, and they're looking for ways they can help their children through the process. When parents make the decision to separate, I ask them to sit down as a family and talk to the kids about that decision and explain it to them in whatever terms are appropriate, why it happened and their perception of why it happened. I think it's important that kids know it's not their fault, that it's a parent decision that was made. I think it's important that parents share that with the child. And I also try to alleviate any responsibility that they might be taking for what's happened, because oftentimes kids feel like they might have done something that's caused their parents to separate or divorce. One thing that I ask them to focus on is their communication, and I ask them specifically to communicate with each other. And so I think oftentimes kids get caught in between the parents' homes, and so I ask them to try to communicate directly with each other so the kids aren't the messengers. And I also ask parents to try to limit the conflict between them in the presence of the children. The other thing that I ask parents to do is try to really limit the changes that happen in the kids' lives. So oftentimes a move is required, and so I ask parents to try to limit the changes as much as possible. So if the children can continue going to their schools, that's ideal, so they can continue their friendships. If they can remain involved in their activities, that's also ideal. So we just want to limit the changes that happen, both when the parents separate and then when they also might change residences. Set up a way of communicating directly with each other. So maybe that's once a week they plan on a phone call where they can talk about the schedule for their children in the upcoming week. I also ask parents to have some communication when they are dropping the children off back and forth between their parents' homes. I think things come up and things change from the plan, and it's important that parents both know the schedules. I think parents know their kids best, and so what I ask them to watch for is just changes in their children. So they might notice changes in their sleeping, or they might notice changes in their school performance, or they might notice changes in how often they're socializing or what they're doing with their friends. Oftentimes parents will come in and notice that there are changes in the child's temper, so they might have more temper outbursts. When they're noticing just big differences from what their child was like before to what their child is like now, then I think it's time to get some professional assistance.